have really intrigued me and compelled me to make something about it and sort of try to pull out the positive aspect of a rather negative thing. So before I go into that, I just want to mention, if you're not familiar with my videos and articles, I really try to focus on solutions as far as what an individual and groups of individuals can actually do to influence the change they want to see in the world. And it's a lot about action. It's about being the change you wish to see in the world. Because it goes to economics, which is the sum of all human action. But if you take the sum of all human action and go to the root, it's the thoughts and the feelings of humans. And the reason I'm rambling about that is because the control of this state, these parasitic, dominating elitists, I don't even really know what to call them anymore, but you know who I'm talking about. Their main staple of control is ideological. And I really think about this a lot, and I notice it more and more as I observe their tactics. It really is ideological. Their main staple of control is the manipulation of the mind. So that being said, going into the recent events, this whole literal war on memes, it's possibly the most ironic thing I've yet seen in my life. But, you know, the EU actually is trying to ban memes. And now all this weird, bizarre stuff on Facebook and YouTube and Google, all this censorship, trying to delete all these pages with free speech. Literally, it's an attack on free speech is basically what's happening. It's very 1984. It's a very police state. It's very disturbing, and it's something that we really should be upset about. It's something we need to obviously resist and keep creating alternative solutions to. And luckily, I think we are seeing this happen, but I'm going to go into that in more detail in a second. But I want to sort of draw out this sort of duality in this, because it's pretty self-explanatory, the negative side, and it's very disturbing, and I don't think that should be overlooked at all. It's very scary. It's really disturbing, really, what they're doing. But I guess one of the positive things that we can kind of use this to our advantage with is that it's an obvious sign that they're actually threatened. They actually feel threatened because they must see that they're losing this war on information. Hardcore. And from at least what I observe in my little corner of the universe is that they're really trying to kick this into overdrive because they see that they're losing this war on information, this war on people's minds, on ideas and thoughts and feelings, and that is their main staple of control. I really truly believe that. More than money, more than weapons, more than anything, they need people's complacency. They need that, or at least acceptance. They need people believing their outlets, and that's obviously dying at a surprising rate, at a rate that I would have never foreseen years ago. So what I'm trying to say with it being positive is that clearly they feel threatened by the internet and what it's created in people's minds and hearts. It's creating a revolution that's inner because people are starting to question things a little bit more. People are seeing information. People are relating to other people a lot differently than they used to. And it's so bad that something as simple and trivial and harmless as a picture with words on it is beginning to, they're trying to paint it like it's a terrorist attack, it's a hate crime, it's hate speech. It's just the craziest thing I've ever seen. I don't know, it might be, there's lots of crazy things, but it's just truly unbelievable. And on top of that, of all things to go after, you're going to go after memes. I don't know why you'd want to come at the internet like that, because I think the internet is almost becoming its own force or something. I don't really know how to explain this yet, but it really is a decentralized network of all these individuals, and lots of these individuals are very smart and very connected. And that's a threat. This is all threatening. This is the positive aspect I'm trying to point out, is that this is a sign, to me at least, that information, they are losing this war on information to a degree that they're actually threatened by, that they're actually trying to really crack down on. And not only that, but the more they try to crack down on it, the more stupid they look, and the more they delegitimize themselves. It seems as if their understanding of manipulative tactics of the masses are starting to fail, because probably they can't even relate to humanity anymore. They don't even understand what's happening to humanity. I mean, I don't think anybody does. It's really weird and complex what's happening on this world right now. There's lots of increasing energy, and again, it comes back a lot to the internet, this platform that has been able to decentralize information and connection. So instead of being discouraged by this, which isn't hard to do, and again, I'm not saying we shouldn't take this seriously, because this is very serious. This is an attack on free speech, on memes. It's the craziest, ludicrous thing. It blows my mind. And when I first started noticing this, I was in a lot of despair. I don't use Facebook anymore, but I witnessed now, not too long ago, it kind of blew my mind. They actually deleted all these pages. They deleted all this stuff. They're censoring all this stuff. They're really, like, it's blatant. It's not even like subtle anymore. And it was really upsetting. But then the more I think about it, the more I'm like, how threatening is this? How much of an impact is this having? How much of an effect something simple as a witty picture with words is actually having on the ideologies of humanity? It must be a lot. And that's just memes. That's not even talking about, articles and videos and music and all this other content of free speech that is influencing people to actually sort of wake up, to not be a non-playing character anymore, which I think that meme is brilliant. I don't know, personally, because that's really how it is. People really have lost the ability for independent thought. And they're really trying to keep that going with the, and this whole meme thing is a perfect example, and it's pathetic, really, of how they're trying to hold back people's perspectives of reality. And I made videos a few times talking about how much this actually is transformational. This the inner revolution is what's going to cause an outer revolution. And I don't really care if that sounds cliche, because it's true again and again and again. People need to have this greater capacity for independent thought and questioning and innovation. That's what's really going to save us. And it's happening. I see it happening. I see it happening on Steemit a lot. So I guess just to reiterate, the positive aspect of this is that by free speech alone, we are actually causing huge ripples on this planet, so much so that these crazy elitists are actually trying to ban memes, which is a very low and pathetic jab at the internet that I don't see going so well for them. I'm pretty sure the internet is ready to end the world over meme freedom, but maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But again, my point is that it's having an effect. It's having a strong effect. Something as simple as memes. And it just goes back to how much they try to make people feel like they're insignificant and they can't do anything, when something as simple as a meme is so threatening that it's actually trying to get banned by this crazy government. That's insane. It's literally 1984, and I don't think they're going to achieve that as easily as they think, because I don't think people are buying into it like they used to. I don't think people are on this level that they're expecting people to be on. I mean, I'm reading these New York Times articles talking about memes being hate speech, and it's just, words can't even describe how stupid it is. Honestly, it's just mental gymnastics all the way, and they're really trying to act like memes are violent, and it's a picture with words on it. Like, come on, anyone with a little common sense should see that. And I know are going to people buying into it, But I don't think the majority of people are going to buy into it. And I think the internet is at a point where it actually can put up a pretty good competition, because it just has empowered individuals. And that's what I was going to say, is individuals are so powerful, and they want to make people forget that. They don't want people to feel like they have a purpose or any meaning or any significance in this life. And that's part of this brainwashing and this ideological manipulation that has been going on for so long that humans don't even know who we are and what we're doing. And it really is non-playing characters. People are seriously, and I think we're all guilty of it sometimes, but it's just this shift, this ideological shift that's happening, and they're trying to hold it back, and I don't think it's going to go well for them, because the more they try to prevent it, the more they're sabotaging themselves at this point. It almost seems like humanity has gone into a direction that they no longer can fully manipulate. And it's slow, and it's going to be slow, but we should notice these changes, and we should be wary of them, and we should be aware of how negative and tyrannical this is all the way. I'm not saying we should ignore that at all, but while being aware of that, we should also be aware of the bright side, which means we are having an effect on the world. We are having an effect on the minds and the hearts of people. People are beginning to change their perception on this reality. And that is seriously fundamental, because we need people to break free of this mold. If we want to get anywhere, we need people to break their minds free of this manipulation that's been going on for so long. And if something as simple as memes can do that, just imagine what we're actually creating here that we don't even know, with memes, with art, with writing, with speaking, with community building, all of these things that they try to make us feel like is insignificant because we need to go out and vote in this ballot. But it just really, I think, the positive aspect, it puts into perspective, and it should be encouraging in a sense for us to keep doing what we're doing, keep resisting, keep building alternatives, keep speaking out, keep creating intelligent and clever ways and peaceful ways of whatever you want to call it, revolution, involution, change, paradigm shift, breaking free of this collective mold that we have to use violence for everything, and that we have to look at the state like it's a legitimate authority when it's not. It's a mob. So that's really all I wanted to say, because it's been crazy. I just can't believe this Matrix these days. It's just getting so wild, and I was really upset about this for a little bit, but now that I think that there is something positive we can use to our advantage in this work that we can take from this psychologically, is that they're losing this war on the mind, on information. And this is such a fundamental thing to try to outcompete this old paradigm that they keep people down in. It really seems to be shifting, and maybe that's just my corner of the universe. Hopefully this can give you some hope, because we really need that right now. We really need that motivation to keep putting in this hard work for a better world. This is an archaic struggle for our species, and it is very meaningful. And it starts with you as an individual inside. The more awareness you have, the more freedom you have, the more freedom you can create, the less likely you are to get stuck in some of these ideological traps that they're laying out. And I'm sure there's going to be way more. I don't even know what's to come. That's the chaotic part. That's really the chaotic part. But that's why, again, it's so important for us to really look at symbolically at some of this stuff that's happening, and psychologically at what's happening. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of crazy change. You know, we can use it, even the bad things such as this attack on free speech, to see the meaning of what's actually happening here, and then innovatively create solutions that not only work around it, but almost transform it. It almost transforms it. And the main point is free speech is not only important, but it's a tool, and that's why it's so important. And that's why they're trying to literally kill it and make it seem like free speech is violent and harmful. It's really Orwellian, really. I cannot even believe it. I can't believe that there's so many people that can still be controlled by that. But again, that's why we really need to keep making memes, keep making articles, keep making videos. We're having an effect on the collective mind, and that is our possibly greatest strategy, I think, truly. is how people are seeing the world and helping them to break out of this mold that they've been programmed and brainwashed into for generations. It's really amazing. So thank you for listening to all this rambling. Hopefully it offers some food for thought. I'd love to hear any feedback on any of this stuff going on, because it's really just, like I said, it's been really intriguing me, some of these recent events that have been happening. So that being said, thank you again for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.